stuff. Yo, what up, what up, what up? Welcome to the 12th episode. I remember this time. The 12th episode of Wrestling with the Bros. Acknowledge us. What up? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Wrestling. Oh, I'll put it on this side of Wrestling with the Bros. Shout out to our executive producer, Smitty. That's James. I'm Chris. Farrah's not here tonight. He's not feeling too hot, so prayers up to him. Hope he feels better. And hope you guys are having a great week. It's almost time for
The final time.
the final time. Yeah, it's almost time for the final time of one John Felix Anthony Cena. He's about to call it quits. His final match is coming up. We'll talk about that. Also, give you the rundown of what happened on SmackDown and Raw. And also look at a little bit, just give a little bit of some attention of what could happen at Royal Rumble next month when it's over in Saudi Arabia. We'll just give you a little talk about that in just a little bit. James, how you feeling, man? What's going on?
I feel good. It's that time of the year. I'm trying to get as much overtime as I can. You know, just trying to hang in. I can't believe we're at the point where this is it. I feel
Yeah.
like if you're a '90s kid like me,
Mm-hmm.
all you really know as well, not all you really know, but what you know as a wrestling fan is Death, Taxes, and John Cena being on Monday Night Raw. And it's crazy to think that this is the end. This is the final chapter. This is the final match. This is everything coming to a culmination of 23 years of what I believe at this point is the greatest wrestler of all time. And this is every kid's like nightmare in my age range. You know, like damn, Cena's finally done. This is it right here. And it's unbelievable. It really is unbelievable. And I'm glad I witnessed it. I'm glad as a whole wrestling fans witnessed it and they were able to see and understand how John Cena was and everything. And I'm glad that he's going out the way. Well, I'm not glad he's going out the way I think he's going to go out, but I'm glad this is his final run and let's send him out the right way.
Yeah, you know what? Before we, well, let me go get started and then I'll go to something else. Um, John Cena came into the WWE, what was that, 02, 03?
Oh, two. It was
Oh two.
I think it was June 26, 2002.
Okay, so yeah, it was in Chicago. SmackDown when he took on a one Kurt Angle, and he mentioned about he coined the phrase ruthless aggression. And looking at John Cena's career, it's funny because at one point I honestly did not like Cena. Not because
Really?
I think it was more so the character I didn't like because I felt like at some point he needed to do something different.
Well, which one? The Doctor Thugonomics or the
Super Cena.
Super Cena? Okay.
Yeah, when he was pretty much around the 20, was it the 20, the mid, or about the 20
Like
teens.
like
So
2013, 2000,
yeah,
like that
somewhere in
time
that,
frame.
yeah, that time frame. Yeah. I felt like he needed to do something different. I think a lot of people felt like that because at one point the character was getting stale and he was getting the Hogan treatment in a sense. of when he would go to an arena, he was starting to get booed because people were tired of seeing the same character, for in John Cena's case, him going out there and just coming to the ring, or him winning every match, or Super Cena, no matter what, he defies all odds, and so forth and so on. And I honestly couldn't stand it. I'm like, dude, do something different. It's time. Go heel. I mean, we were begging for him to
Yeah,
go heel. I
yeah.
understood why he wasn't going, why Vince wasn't going to let him do that, because he was bringing in too much freaking money. Um, but no, it's really fun, and I'm glad I had a chance to see John Cena twice, at least two times during his career. Matter of fact, I think they were the same exact year. If I'm thinking right, because
I,
I saw him the week before WrestleMania 27, and then when he was doing that angle with Kane, um, the one where he was,
you talk about Zack Ryder. It was like the end. It was like the end of 2012, right before no, it might have been I think it was the end of 2012 because I think AJ Lee was the general manager at the time. I think if I'm
yeah,
not mistaken, because
I
because
think so, yeah.
I'm trying to put together like the everything like how that would be in that
Hmm.
time. But no, that is definitely true. You definitely uh he needed a character change, and we didn't really get it until literally this year.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, yeah.
so and
And
like
it,
you,
it was like almost like 15 years too late in a sense.
I feel like it was. Yeah, like yeah, 13, yeah, 15 years. I feel like when he lost to The Rock is when the first time was when he should have done it right after that. And when
Yeah, I
but then they
agree.
had Lesnar come back and be like, "Oh, I'm Brock Lesnar." It's like, "Oh, great, you're Brock Lesnar, you're back." Like, you know. But um I've seen John Cena countless times.
Hmm.
Uh when they still had shows at the Eyes Out Center, I used to go every time, when I was a kid.
Hmm.
I had everything. I had the shirt. I had the OG Word Life one. I had the little inflatable fingers that he had with said Word Life on it. I had the knuckles. I had the chain. That was essentially my Hogan,
Right, right.
and I had everything. I had shirts, the hats, the armbands, the chain. Because when I first started, he was doing the Doctor Thugonomics thing, and I thought that was the coolest thing. And you know, he just I don't know. And even too like when he first started coming up, that was when he had that crazy strength. He always had it, but I remember it was like he was the first person to like pick up like Rikishi and like throw Rikishi down. Even like the
Hmm.
Big Show. Like I remember like I think it was the Eyes Out Center. I think him and Benoit had it were in a tag match. I think, and I can't remember if he did the AA of the Big Show or something. But I just remember seeing all the bulbs in the camera flash as he did it, and I was like, "Oh my god!" I remember sitting there like, "Holy!" As a kid, I was like, "Holy shit!" I didn't really say that I was 7 years old, but I remember like being like, "Wow, this is amazing." I've like I said, I've seen John Cena countless times. I'm lucky enough to see him twice. This year, I went to SummerSlam this year and I saw him fight Cody Rhodes, and then I saw him again for his final Monday Night Raw appearance, Madison Square Garden. Um, Breathtaking. Everything you want and
Right.
more. He is the man, and he will be sorely missed in this company.
He definitely will. And that's a question I think I've seen it talked about, at least on my timeline, about how when he retires, and this was a few some months ago, I think right before he announced it, or maybe last year, I can't remember. But somebody asked the question or brought this up about how this company
I
is
said
really
it.
going to miss. Yeah, right. Okay, yeah. You
Yeah.
said it. Yeah, you said it. This company is going to miss John Cena when he leaves.
Mhm.
And I'm not saying that Roman can't carry the company or Cody, but they're starting to dip their toes in Hollywood. You know, you and I right before the show, we were talking about the trailer for the new Street Fighter movie, which comes. I didn't realize it was coming out. in October of next year. I knew it was coming out next year, but I didn't realize it was in October.
It's actually pretty funny because we actually spoke about it. Next October is like the fighting game movie month because Mortal Kombat 2 comes out in October as well. I
Oh
believe.
wow, I didn't realize that.
I think it's no. Actually no. It was supposed to be October this year,
Oh
but they
yeah, yeah,
pushed it
yeah.
back to May. So that's my bad. I thought it came out October next year, but no, it's the next year's the fighting game year. I guess you have Mortal
Yeah.
Kombat in May, and then you have
Street
Street
Fighter.
Fighter in October. But
Yeah, that's yeah, that's actually gonna be fun for moviegoers. Um but yeah, we were just talking about Street Fighter, how yeah, it didn't look too good. It really didn't look too good.
not at all.
Cody Cody Rhodes is playing Guile, and Roman Reigns is playing Akua
Akuma.
Akuma, I mean, excuse me, Akuma. And yeah, I wasn't too impressed by the trailer. I know Smitty was saying it right before we started. I don't know if the trailer was just a bad trailer or what. I don't know, man. I looked at it,
I,
I had to watch it twice just to make sure that I was like, okay, is this really real? Because
it's just
they premiered it tonight at the Video Game Awards.
mm,
So
it. I feel like Street Fighter is too much of a cartoony kind of movie.
mhm.
So a cartoony kind of video game to really kind of like hit it home because Blanca is orange and green or orange and red. I'm colorblind, so I don't really know, right?
Mhm.
Um, then like to me, M Bison should be the second biggest person in the show besides Zangief. I
Yeah,
feel like he's a small little
I'm
guy.
with you. For, because I'm trying to think. And gosh, I'm drawing a blank here. But when they had M Bison in the first Street Fighter movie back in the '90s, the one thing I remember even as a teenager, I was like, "Why is M Bison so small?" And I think his name was Raw
He,
Paulia,
Raul Julia, he was
Raw
the
Julia, Julia, yeah, Julia, yeah.
he was the original Adams Family guy.
Yeah, he played he played the father,
Yeah,
Gomez, and the Adams Family movie. Oh, I know he was sick, 'cause I think he had cancer. He
he
was
did.
diagnosed with cancer, and then he ended up passing. But even then, I was wondering, why don't they get somebody who's muscular to play M Bison? Like, I don't understand why they didn't do it, but I don't know, we'll see.
I don't know, but it didn't look good coming out of the gate. I'll tell you that much right now. But I mean, time will tell. I don't want to shit on something if it's not there or whatever yet.
Right.
So I hope for the sake of fans of the game and stuff like that it ends up being like looks like really good and everything. So
Yeah, me too. But back to the point is, you have Cody and you have Roman. They're there, but how much longer are they going to be there? Because they're,
yeah,
like I said, they have one foot in Hollywood. I think this is the second movie that Cody Rhodes has done. He was in the remake of The Naked Gun. Now he's in Street Fighter. Roman has been in a few movies. Um,
see,
you
bros.
know, yeah. So they're starting to branch out. So the question is going to be asked: Who's going to carry this company moving forward? And Fair's not here, so I know Fair would give us that look as if to say, "Y'all pretty crazy? Oh my God, what are we talking about?"
It's
But
not. You know what it is. I don't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry.
no, you're right.
It's John Cena took the company over as a 28-year-old.
Hmm.
That's the difference. Like Cody and Roman were there, but Roman's peak was when he was older, right? When he was, I think he's 40 now. So he
Yeah.
was in his 30s. Cody was doing AEW and New Japan and all that, and in his 30s. So there's really like they don't really have like that homegrown kind of guy to where it's like, yeah, this is the guy. And that's what I mean by they're gonna miss a guy. Excuse me, they're gonna miss a guy like that because Cena was all WWE. Yeah, he did movies and all that and stuff like that, but he was like a legit like homegrown superstar that they made and transformed into this megastar. And he was a young guy who held the company. I know 40 is not old, and I understand it. So when I say these things, I sound stupid. Like, what do you mean 40 is not old? But it's like for a young wrestler, Cena
Hmm.
took the ball and went for 135 yards and 9 touchdowns. Like, just everything went well for them, and I feel like they're missing that. They just are, and I feel like he can do a lot of things part time that a lot of guys can't do full time.
Hmm.
It just is what it is. I know he said it in the promo against Roman Reigns in 2017, but I think that's just the facts.
Yeah, yeah. I, I, and you know what? And I'm not saying that Cena um wasn't already in Hollywood or different things like that, but it just felt like when he showed up, it felt like a big deal. And I mean, now for the last 5, 6 years, Roman has filled that void of where um, you know it feels like a big deal. Same thing with Cody, but like to your point, John Cena was doing this when he was like 28, when he was hitting his prime, and it just felt like he just got bigger, 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 and bigger and bigger as a star. Like for example, when John Cena came back to take on Roman Reigns, and it was a match at Money in the Bank, and Michael Cole is losing his freaking mind.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like Cena, it's Cena, and I'm guessing by his reaction, he didn't know that John Cena was going to be there.
No, I feel like they keep a lot of things secret from him.
Yeah, which I like. I like the authenticity of his calls, especially if he doesn't know, or even Joe Tessitore to that degree. If they don't know what's like a surprise is happening, that just makes it that much better.
Yeah,
No, CM Punk, he's much older. Uh, you're trying to build right now. Jay Uso is very hot. LA Knight's hot, but can they carry the
40s.
company? And what I mean by it's almost like that LeBron James thing. When LeBron retires, the NBA is going to miss him because I
Trouble.
they're in serious trouble, and that's part of the reason why they have this NBA Cup because they're trying to find who's going to be the next face. Is it going to be somebody American or somebody international? We don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, John Cena's going his when he leaves after Saturday, that void is going to be felt.
It is.
That
It
void
it
is going
really
to be felt.
it really is because you're like I just said, he's a transcendent superstar, and generations know him, older, younger, present, then, now, and forever. That whole thing is legit as can be, and he, I think, represents that. He was the past for the
Hmm.
'90s kids. He is the now for the '90s kids, and he is the future for everybody. He was the future for everybody else at the time, and now the future is gone. And to me, there's not a guy that they have that can really take over that mantle like that. Like,
It,
man, like
it
that's the
seemed
guy.
like to me, Cena really enjoyed wrestling.
Yes, yes,
Like he really enjoyed, like he took pleasure in going out there and giving the people what they wanted. Now, did he do some jerk moves during his career? Yeah, because he knew he had pretty much uh say over certain things. Like to me, and this is probably one of the reasons why I hated him for so long was the whole Nexus thing. I mean,
see, see,
and James, the way it started off was like incredible. The way
yes,
they
uh
the way they started it off, it was incredible, and then all of a sudden it just took like a nosedive, and
huh.
yeah,
Yeah, that
yeah.
was at that point. I was kind of I was into it, but I wasn't like like wrestling fans, they take lulls, right? Like
Hmm.
that was the one year of my life when I was like, yeah, no, I don't really need to watch it right now because
Hmm.
like everything just started to change, and I was like, man, this is not what it used to be for me. I do remember the Nexus thing though because I remember I think it was like a 1-on-12 and he beat all of them.
Yeah,
And I remember that, and I was like, man, I don't need to be watching this anymore. I really don't. And then
yeah.
I remember telling my friends at the time because we were all kind of into it. It's like, bro, I'm not interested right now. I was like, what am I getting at here? Like, there's no,
Right,
it's just he's gonna beat everybody. So what's the difference? You know?
right. And I think that was the super Cena. I think that really uh push or rub people the wrong way because at that point they're like, okay, dude, come on. It's gonna be 20 people out there, and you're gonna go out there and freaking Bruce Lee them all
Well,
and just beat
I
them or
also,
whatever.
I also, I also think that was Vince McMahon doing Vince McMahon things as well. So
I agree.
I really can't even justify saying like, oh, that's all Cena. Like, I think Vince was like, oh well, John Cena's the guy, so we have to make him look this strong.
Yeah,
You know,
I agree with you on that. I agree. But I think at that point, because like honestly, there was a period where I had stopped watching wrestling, like you. I just had stopped watching wrestling, just took my sabbatical or what have you. And then my kids got into wrestling. My oldest at the time, he was a big Randy Orton fan, and then my youngest actually was a John Cena fan.
oh, that must have been fun.
Yeah, that
That must
was.
have been
Oh,
fun.
I know what angle it was. It was the embrace the hate angle, the one that him and Kane were
Yes.
in.
Uh huh. Yeah.
That's the angle. That's when I saw them at the All-State Arena. Yeah. Um,
Embrace the hate. Yeah, that was right. I think that was right before Team Hell No too, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it was.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I think it was though. But the one thing that I remember during that time period was just how polarizing John Cena was. And he was already polarizing before, but when you're in that crowd and you literally are hearing two, like one half of the arena saying "Let's go Cena," and then Cena sucks, and I mean it's loud, it's deafening to where they're born. Yeah, that that was that was something. Probably one of my favorite, or a couple of my favorite moments involved Cena on the losing end was when the ECW one night stand where he took on
Yes.
Rob Van Dam and
Yes.
he lost.
Yep.
But man, that crowd was, oh man, you'd have thought he was a heel that night.
Look, uh, New Yorkers, when it comes to wrestling, it's a harsh crowd, man,
Yeah,
and they let it be known it's an away game for John Cena. It
yeah.
definitely was. And Hammerstein Ballroom is I've never been to a show in there before, so I can't even justify like saying like, oh yeah, I've been there, whatever. I've never been there, but I know people that have, and they have stories. They say it was the greatest wrestling event of all time, like ECW. And I think that was another part when it was like, this is John Cena, and everybody hates him
Hmm.
because he is what WWE represents. He is the guy that everybody hates, and it's what WWE represents. And ECW was everything that they hated. ECW was the underground. ECW had no disqualifications in a lot of their matches. They had
Hmm.
guys like New Jack who would come out to NWA the entire match and just come out with a shopping cart of weapons and beat the shit out of people. And and they would have Spike Dudley get tossed around by Mike Awesome, and they would have the Mike Awesome and Masahiro Tanaka, like Tanaka fights. I think I can't think of his name. I
Yeah,
always get his name wrong, but a guy like him, Taz, Bam Bam Bigelow, guys that don't look like John Cena. So if everybody was like, nah, that's not our guy, Rob Van Dam is, you know? So he's very polarizing in that regard for Cena anyway.
yeah. That night and the Money in the Bank match against CM Punk.
Yes. Another away game.
Yeah,
Another night when it was, nope, you're going on the road here tonight, buddy. There's no
and
shot.
and I've been at Allstate Arena, and it's a very small arena. I think the most it can hold is like 15,000,
Mm.
and that place gets really, really, really loud, and
Yeah.
it almost feels like the crowd is on top of the ring,
Mhm.
and what have you. And I wasn't there for that, but I mean, just watching it live. I remember I was watching it with my wife. I think CJ was born. That was 2011. So yeah, he was born. Um, and I remember me, my oldest, and my wife were watching it, and my wife was like, "Man, they are awfully loud tonight," and I had to explain to her the reason why. Um, yeah, that place gave him the business, man. But I mean, but you know what though, and I had a feeling he was gonna lose that match because he walked straight out there, he didn't say anything or what have you. He just walked straight out there, do his thing to Stu or none of that stuff. So, um, yeah, that was one of my favorite. And geez, it's interesting that one of some of my favorite memories is when he lost. The Firefly match with him and Bray Wyatt.
That that was a first and foremost. Rest in peace, Bray Wyatt. I wish you were here for this. because I think that would have played a massive part into this Cena farewell tour. And
I
I
agree.
think they would have definitely hit some notes. And I think that they would have definitely involved some kind of thing with Bray Wyatt at some point down the road. RIP to Bray, because I really believe that that Firefly Funhouse match was everything that we were saying. Excuse me, about him turning heel, and obviously it's like him with the NWO shirt on and coming out the NWO music. Like John Cena would never do that. Like
Hmm.
Hogan would never do that. And it look what happened. It happened. So man, that's a creative mind this business misses. And I wish he was here for this moment because they would have had to have done something with Bray Wyatt and him because they really knocked it out the park with that. That Firefly Funhouse match was awesome. That was
Yeah,
really
that
good, and they
that
did
was
what
a
they could
really
because
good
it was
match.
COVID.
Exactly, that was a really good match. So no, like I said, John Cena. I enjoy John Cena. Um, I learned to appreciate him later on in his career, especially when weren't seeing him as much. And yeah, we're definitely going to miss him. I'm glad you were there for SummerSlam when that place erupted. When it brought back his
The
old his
Titantron.
the Titantron, yeah, because you could tell everybody was kind of like. It is funny. He had to go heel for. I think him going heel made people really appreciate him because when they brought back that old Titantron, that was man, that place went nuts.
Yeah, no, it was a cool moment because you know, in the light of everything that happened with The Rock, the bald fraud. I will not be afraid to say it. That guy sandbagged that whole heel turn. I don't care what no one says. Him and Travis Scott sandbagged that whole heel turn. But seeing the Titan, too, like I said, when the Titantron hit, it was like, oh, he's back. This is the John Cena that it's been for the past 20 years. You
Hmm.
know, like this is, oh yeah, this is our guy. This is John Cena. This is everything that we wanted and everything that we saw and everything. So it was loud. It was definitely loud, and it was nice to see and nice to hear. And he put on probably I think that's one of his top 5 matches ever. I don't know if that's a segment that we're going to talk about, but I think some of his best matches came on later on his life, later in his career.
Yeah, I agree.
Like
Yeah, you can go. Yeah, you can go along with that.
I I think the Cody Rhodes match at the SummerSlam was really good. I believe all 3 of his Styles matches are elite, elite. He called AJ Styles the greatest to ever do it. I find that very hard to disagree with. I think
Yeah.
those and they never. I don't the 2017 Royal Rumble match. They didn't leave the ring. I know that for a fact, right? And then in the 2000, well, this past one at Crown Jewel, they didn't leave the ring either. And it was a classic duel. It was a classic match. Everybody loved it, and stuff like that. The match he had with Cesaro for the U.S. Championship in 2015, another great match. As he got older, he really became like the guy in the company, and
Hmm.
in the wrestling wise, obviously he was the man in the company. Obviously, but I'm talking like as like his wrestling match. He got better with age. And then I remember on the internet they used to call it the PWG era, I think, of
Hmm.
Cena when he was putting on just great matches with Sammy and Cesaro, Claudio Castagnoli, obviously Cody, stuff like that. So as he got older, AJ Styles, as he got older, the matches got better.
Hmm. No, I agree with you. He definitely got better with time. Um, I remember when John Cena will and we'll move forward because we got to get to Saturday night's main event and Raw and other things. But one of around WrestleMania 34 or leading up to it, I remember I was talking to a buddy of mine. I asked him, I said, who would get booed more, Roman Reigns or John Cena? Uh, because this is
That
um,
was WrestleMania 34
Brock
was
Brock and Roman, but
Rock and Roman.
I remember talking to my buddy leading up to that. because like that was a WrestleMania type match, and I still believe that it is, but that was a WrestleMania type match, and we were just talking because everybody hated Roman more so. I think it was just a lash at Vince McMahon because they felt that they were forcing Roman down our throats, and they couldn't stand John Cena because he wouldn't turn heel, and his character was getting stale. So it was at that point, it was like who's going to get booed more, Cena or Roman Reigns? Well, the first time they actually wrestled, what pay per view was that? And I'm looking dead at it too, because
What?
Cena was cooking Roman Reigns in the promos.
Oh, that was No Mercy 2017.
Yes, 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 yes.
Mm.
Thank you. That's what it was. And yeah, he was cooking them in those promos, man. I mean, he was murdering. That's another thing. John Cena's promo game is, man, it is
Oh,
phenomenal.
that's and that is why I'm saying when he told Roman I could do this better part time than you could do full time, I still think that's true for about 75% of the roster. Man, like him, Punk. It took Roman a little while to get there, but Roman did it. There are certain things like he could really captivate an audience, and
Hmm.
and he could do it even when he was younger, like even before, like when he was doing the freestyles, before his matches, and he came out with the Jerome Brown jerseys and the Joe Namath and the Jim Browns and stuff like that when he was a Dr. Thugonomics. And then
Hmm.
all of a sudden he went from doing that to just cutting promos, and it seemed like it was an effortless transition, and his peak probably when he first started doing it, like 2004, 2005, and he won his first title, and then he started really cutting promos. That was when it was like, wow, this guy's fucking amazing at this, you
Yeah.
know, and just man, it really became like the total package minus the wrestling part a little bit. As he got older, it got better, but in the beginning, it was like, eh. But yeah, the
No,
five moves of doom,
Cena's gonna be missed, man. He's gonna be missed.
he is
Definitely gonna be missed. Um, Monday SmackDown, man, wasn't nothing really to talk about.
no.
No.
The only thing I will say though is, um, well, no, actually, we had the final match between uh, well, the last time is now final between LA Knight and Gunther. Um, a lot of people not happy with it. Um,
Is Gunther becoming the person to retire a legends now? Is he the legend retirer now? Is he taking that over
I,
from Randy Orton?
I mean, at this point, yeah. I think the biggest problem with the IWC's opinion on Gunther being the guy to take over Cena's reign or whatever, or to retire Cena is the guy is old. The guy's 38 years old.
I
And
didn't
they're
realize he was that
talking,
old.
yeah, Gunther's not young. Gunther's like 38, 37, something like that. And like, and it's just, I don't know, man. You want to pass, like, Cena was the future of the company. And it's like, you just kind of passed it on to a guy that is older now. And let's talk about 10 years. Gunther's going to be 48 years old. Is he wrestling at 48? Like,
Yeah.
seriously?
Well,
Like,
here's another thing too. If who could you put it on? Because LA Knight is 40.
see, me personally, I would have done Solo. I would have
Hmm.
done Carmelo Hayes. I would have done Bronson Reed. Hell, I would have done Braun Breaker. But they weren't going to do that. But that's a guy I would have done. You want to talk about the future of the company? I think that's your guy, personally,
And
Braun
Braun
Breaker.
Breaker, yeah, he's been cutting some good promos the last few weeks too, man.
He has been. I think the biggest thing with Braun Breaker though is it is really good and it's enjoyable, and it serves a point because Braun is very much he's not he's not going to be a guy that can cut a 15-minute promo about the business. He's never going to be that. He's a Steiner. The Steiners do not do that. They beat people up and then they bark or they flex their biceps and they talk in an extremely high pitched voice, and then they go home. That's what they do. And I don't believe that having a guy like Gunther being the guy to retire John Cena is the right move. I would have taken a lot of different people over him. But again, this is the same company that will tell you that, and it's like, yeah, well, we want to focus on the future and that, and then proceed to give the passing of the torch to a guy that doesn't really need it. The guy's been a champion forever. The guy won two world championships, held the Intercontinental title for 666 days. You're really just putting it on his mantle because you don't really trust anybody else with it. And I also think the other problem too is they needed a guy to build enough heat for that, and I feel like Gunther's the perfect guy to do that. If that makes any sense, like, I feel like Gunther's a
Oh
good guy for it to build heat and all that. So I could definitely kind of see why it was like a good idea for them to do so.
no, yeah, yeah. Gunther, and I don't like Gunther. I think Gunther's a very good wrestler. Um,
I think he's an amazing wrestler.
yeah,
I
you
think
know,
I
yeah.
think I think his in ring work is very very. I think it's close. I think it's borderline elite to tell you the truth, because
Mhm.
the matches he did with Solo was amazing. The match he did with Javon Evans in the Garden was fantastic, and the match with LA Knight is really good as well. The guy's a very very good wrestler for what he does. And yeah, I know he's boring, and it's like the music, and he doesn't have like, there's no armbands, there's no flair to him. It's just wrestling, and that's what makes him
Mhm.
unique in this time. Like, he's just a wrestler.
Yeah. No, he's almost old school in the sense in the way
Yeah,
that he wrestles.
yeah.
Um, but no, I enjoy Gunther wrestling. He wasn't my first choice. I thought Jay was going to get it,
Oh God.
or Solo was going. Solo could have been one. Actually, I thought it was going to be somebody from NXT. I thought maybe they would have put somebody from NXT in there. That would have been the signal of they're going to bring them up. But nevertheless, it's going to be Gunther who's going to retire John Cena. I don't think a lot of people, for the most part, don't have a huge problem with that. So we're all looking forward to that, to Saturday night's main event. Uh, and we'll get to that in just a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about Monday Night Raw. I thought Raw was a pretty solid show. Wasn't bad. Wasn't great, but it wasn't bad either.
It was
Thought it
just
was,
there.
yeah, it was just there.
It
Good,
was just
solid,
there.
yeah, solid show. Um, of course, hold on a second though, as I pull up my card here. Gunther made his appearance. He cut, speaking of Gunther, cut a very nice, very good promo.
Short, sweet, to
Um,
the point.
do you do you see, and we'll give our picks about for Saturday night's main event, but do you see that match lasting a good 20 minutes?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, I do.
I was thinking 30. I thought maybe they might give John Cena the last 30, but then I was like, you know what? Maybe they could give it the last 30, and maybe like the last 5 minutes or so. Um, he um
Well, he
he speaks or whatever.
well, this is a 5 hour show.
It's a who show?
It's a 5 hour show. I think it's 1 hour pre-show, 2 hours for the actual show, and
And
it's
then
a
an
two
hour
hour and it's a 2 hour pre-show.
a post show.
Post
Yes,
show,
yeah. Oh,
post show.
you're right. You're right. Okay. Oh, hold on.
Yeah.
I thought. Oh, wait. I thought you meant the event itself is like 2 hours. I mean, 5 hours. Wait a minute. They
No,
only got
no,
four
no.
matches. I was gonna
No,
say,
no, no,
damn.
no, 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 no. It's at the entirety of it all. I think it's an hour for the pre-show, 2 hours for the show, and 2 hours for the post-show. I
Okay, but
believe. Yeah,
okay. That's fine. It's John Cena. You have to do. And you know what? Here's another thing. I was honestly wondering, when's the last time they did something like this for somebody?
I'll be honest
That
with you. I think the Undertaker would have been one if COVID never would have happened. I
I
think
agree.
Ric Flair is really the only one I can really think of off the top of my head right now. Edge retired on a SmackDown, which was kind of disrespectful, but I guess, hey, it is what it is at this point. Um, I feel like Jericho's going to get that at some point. I feel like Randy Orton might get that. Um,
Rey
Goldberg,
Mysterio.
technically, maybe. I can't see him. I can't see him getting sent off like this with this kind of like
And fair.
Yeah, I can't. Rey Mysterio is a legend and all that, but I can't see them sending him away with like, yeah, yeah, this is what you're. No, I can't. I can't. John Cena, not even close. Is gonna get way more than whatever he got. But
Okay. Okay. Um, the one of the things that stood out to me uh for Monday Night Raw was when the Usos announced that they're back in the tag team division now.
thank God.
Yeah, I think Triple H and them saw like, hey, this tag team, man, it feels like for the last 20 plus years, the tag team division has been struggling. Like they'll have their period where they're doing good, and then like they'll have another long period where they are just terrible, man.
Because I feel like they need to put more emphasis on it, and I feel like in a way they haven't done that, and now's the good time to do it because now you're really getting like you have the New Day.
Yes.
You have AJ and Dragon Lee, which is a really good tag team. You have the War Raiders. You have the Kree brothers floating around somewhere. You're gonna have the Usos in there. I know Penta just got cleared. I'm hoping that they move Ray Phoenix over to Raw at some point to reunite the Lucha Bros because I think they're missing that too as well. And you can instantly add more fanfare to that division in 2 seconds if you want to. And I believe making the Usos pair up together again is kind of the cure for it. Now, I don't think it really necessarily matters like what they do in the sense of like good guy, bad guy. They're one of the greatest tag teams of the 2010s. So, and arguably the most important tag team in obviously in the 2020s, I guess. So with the bloodline story and being the only tag team match to ever main event WrestleMania, so I guess at least you kind of have. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that WrestleMania one, but like the first like legit like headlining like yeah the Usos and that So at least they have that I guess going for them.
Yeah. The tag team division needed some life bad, and the Usos being in it brings that life to it. The one thing that we'll have to see how it plays out is what is this going to do with Jay's character, because after he lost in the last or the last time is now tournament, you thought he was about to go off the deep end, and then the following week he comes back and he's teamed up with his brother. So I'm just interested in seeing what his character is going to look like moving forward, and could this play into maybe the Usos not winning the tag team title soon? I think they will, but I'm just wondering how, like, if he wins, if and when they win the tag team title, how will that, like, how will his character be once that happens? So I'm anxious to see what his character is going to look like moving forward.
I
So
fu- I fully expect a crash out coming because
okay.
um yeah it's cool Jey Uso now in your city all that um but like the character's cool they yeet and shit but I don't know. I feel like Jay's gonna get set up to be suckered into this by somehow or some whatever way. I don't know how, but I feel like that's what's gonna happen to them. I feel like that's like a heel turn waiting to happen because I think what's interesting is they didn't come out to the Usos theme; they came out to Jay's theme.
Hmm.
I feel like if you're gonna reintroduce the Usos, I think you would use the Usos theme instead of just Jay's. So that's just
Yeah.
how I feel about it.
Yeah. No. LA Knight get pretty much he challenged. Yeah, he challenged Logan Paul to a match. They had to have their match. A good solid match. Oh, do you think he was written off TV the way they ended with him with Bronson Reed diving off of that ledge and crushing him on that car? Because that's what it felt like to me.
I think what's gonna happen is and Dave LaGreca pointed this out on the Busted Open Radio. Um, he he took a loss on Friday, and it
Hmm.
made it seem like the way that they handled business on Monday, it made it seem like he was going to be a major player going forward. Um, to tell you the truth, I don't know how you can consistently ignore the fanfare. It's been going on consistently for 3 years now, and I feel like that pop is absolutely asinine to the point when it's like, yeah, no, this guy is legit as can be, right? And now, even too, like they had a moment in the back. when they drove through the table, and then he said, "That's all you punk bitches got." Like he kept on egging it on and egging it on and egging it on, and it kind of felt like the old guy that was like, "Oh, I'll keep throwing it, keep on doing
Hmm.
it, man. I'll take as much as you need, much as you want. I got it." And it feels like they really delivered on that point to sit there and say, "This is what we want with him going forward." Now I'm not going to sit here and say like he's going to win the championship, but I feel like including him with the vision again is a sign of what they want to do and how they're going to do things with him going forward. Um, I have been vocal about him having a championship run, even if it's 2 months. I don't care. Just give me something because the guy gets consistently cheered year in and year and day in and day out every time. L.A. Knight, the crowd goes nuts. It's not as popular as Jey Uso because Jey Uso has the whole hand movement stuff and all that, but it's very, very, very evident and obvious. The crowd goes crazy when he comes on this when he comes out to the arena. It is. Like what are you waiting for at this point? You got him involved with the vision again. I think Braun Breaker's win that belt on January 5th, by the way.
Yeah, I think so.
I really do. So at least when you have that, you have LNA to come in and say, okay, sure, let's do this. What's the worst that happens? You try it for 2 months and then you keep it moving. That's all. You don't go crazy with it. You don't try to force the issues, whatever. But what do I know, right? Well, what do I know? I think him getting off TV is a good idea for the time being, only because it allows him to kind of come back with a louder pop, and maybe he picks up on the idea of selling what they want. Like to being the guy, like Fair says. I understood his point when he said that. And I feel like sometimes his promos could be a little repetitive and stale. But if he can come back with something new and something a little fresh with a little more energy and fire, because I feel like he was showing a little bit on Monday was talking Logan Paul. I feel like they had that.
Yes.
And I think if he could build on capitalize that, and if you have him come back at that January 5th show
Hmm.
or even the Rumble, I think he'll come back to even a louder ovation, which is great for me because LA Knight for World Champion 2026. Please do it for me, Hunter.
Mm. Actually, you know what? Real quick, because we talked about this a couple pods ago. We were talking about how Punk will probably win the belt back in Chicago at Elimination Chamber. Potentially, you could see SmackDown tapings and NXT and Triple A showcases around that PLE. So we'll see.
I think I don't know if I really got my point across last week, but I feel as if Punk coming back to the United Center in Chicago, I think that is the biggest thing. Like, yeah, like the Allstate Arena is in Chicago, but it's a suburb, right? I don't
No,
know how
no,
far.
no. It's at the United Center.
No, I'm talking about like the Allstate Arena. I don't know where it is in Illinois compared to where it is in Chicago.
It's in Rosemont. So it's like 25 miles west. Yes, west of Chicago.
So now you're in the heart of Chicago. You are in the United Center.
Yeah.
I think Punk is a shoe in for that. I think he's a shoe in to win that match, that chamber. I really do because in Chicago, the United Center, I don't see how you don't have him win that. I
And
don't.
hold on. If he doesn't win, it's gonna be a huge riot, man.
Oh,
Shit.
absolutely. There's going to be as they should be.
Damn. These I'm looking at the tickets right now on StubHub. Dude, these tickets right now, like 340, 350 and up.
Want me to be honest with you?
What's up?
When I went to SummerSlam, when I bought those tickets, I got I bought a 2 day pass. So I got the ticket for night one and the ticket for night two and the same thing. It cost me 350 for both nights.
Are you serious?
Yes. But I wanted to go and I felt as if that
No,
was my only time
uh-huh.
that I kind of needed to go. So
No, I totally get it. I was looking at getting 3 tickets. That's the thing. When you're getting tickets for a family, gotta have to see if I can do some
oh
overtime,
well
man.
for you, yeah. Me as a single guy, yeah. Okay, I get it.
Let me see. And so I'm looking at it right now. Oh gosh, it'd be 1141 for 3 tickets. That's including fees and everything.
Me.
And wait a minute,
Well,
I'm sitting in the 300 level. I'm not even sitting close. So like if you sit close,
oh, it's
it's
probably 3,000 for three
it,
seats. Yeah.
man, Yeah, they like right now they have tickets for like 1,229.
Yeah, nah.
Damn near ringside. No, I'm straight. Um,
Honestly, I would, man, I would try to do something.
yeah, no, I'm gonna try to do something. I'm gonna try. I'm
Yeah.
definitely gonna try to do something, but whew, good lord. But see, the only problem is I gotta save. I have to start saving money because I'm going out of town in June to watch my mom graduate from she getting her doctorate degree. So I'm going
Oh,
to what yeah, I'm going out to Arizona to see her.
that's cool.
And
Yeah,
me and my
honestly, don't worry about it. Don't even worry about Elimination Chamber. Just go do that.
yeah.
That
Yeah,
sounds a little more
well,
fun.
yeah, no, yeah, we're not going until the summer, till June. So, but I mean, I would love to go because this will be the first PLE in the United Center since SummerSlam of '94. Because I think it was just
Yeah.
cheaper to go to Allstate as opposed to the United Center.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. That does make a lot of sense.
so
That kind of reminds me of the Eyes Out Center because um obviously I live in the shadow of New York City. So the garden is
hmm
right there, right? When they do shows and they would do shows here and in the Eyes Out Center, it would be like significantly cheaper because it's the Eyes Out Center. It's right there. It's not that bad. So I
no,
understand where that comes from.
yeah, yeah. So, um, let me uh let me go ahead and get this card ready for Saturday night's main event.
I think it's
So
only four
it's only four matches. Only
again, which is the
four.
dumbest thing ever. How do you have a show? Well, in this case, I understand with Cena. So I get it. I understand that. But oof, man, these four match cards, they better deliver. They really better deliver.
Well, we shall see because we have, of course, we talked about it, Cena against Gunther. We have Cody Rhodes against Oba Femi. Also have AJ Styles and Dragon Lee versus Javon Evans and Leon Slater. And then for the women, Bailey versus Sol Roca. So let's start right there, Bailey and You know what? Let's do it like this. Do you think all of the WWE main roster talent is going to win?
No.
It's excluding Gunther and John Cena, the other three matches. Do you think?
Mm, no. I think
Okay,
I think I have a feeling Sol wins.
okay.
Um I have a feeling that the Obafemi and Cody match is a non-contest, like a no like a disqualification kind of ending.
hmm
I don't think it really matters either way because if either one takes a loss, it doesn't really affect them. Like if Cody
hmm
loses, it's not a big deal, and if Oba loses, it's not a big deal either, right? So, but I can't see them saying no. We're gonna have this guy lose. I feel like that's gonna be like a disqualification, like Drew McIntyre gets involved or something. I'm not really sure.
Okay. All right.
Uh,
So you have Soroka winning.
yes, yeah, I think Soruka wins only because I feel like Bailey is the. I feel like Bailey and Natalia are at this point where they are. They are the two like gatekeepers of the future
hmm
because Bailey's doing work with Lyra, and which has been really good. And I think you're seeing the promos with Maxine and Natty, the last heart or whatever her name is now, and it's really good stuff. If her stuff in AAA was really good. I forget that gimmick's name. When it's not Natalia, not her. It's literally it's Natty, and it's really good stuff. So I think those two are the gatekeepers going forward, and I think having Solruka have that be under the belt card, like yeah, I pinned Bailey in a one-on-one match. I think that goes a long way going forward. Um,
Actually, James, I thought you were talking about you pinning Bailey in a
oh
one-on-one
no no no
match.
no 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 sir. We'll say that for after the pod. But no, I think it would be nice for have that under Bailey's like thing, like Solruka's thing. Like, yeah, I pinned Bailey in a one-on-one match and my one of my biggest like matches of my life. The only thing I'm not too crazy about Solruka is I feel like her finisher is a little too like not complicated to set up, but I feel like it's very too specific to set up. Like, is it cool? Yes, but I feel like a lot of things have to go. There's a lot of cooperation has to go right into it. I feel like that might have to change with her going forward. But otherwise than that, I have no other complaints.
Um, I'm a I'm gonna go with you. I'm gonna go on the different route. I think Soul wins, and I think this brings out more unhinged Bailey.
Mm.
I think that's what this loss will do for her. And you might heck, you might see Bailey on NXT a little bit here.
Yeah,
Maybe having beefing with Soul here.
actually, to be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised if Zarya cost her this match either.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised about that either, to say the truth, because I feel like they kind of left the door open for that the other night when she speared Kendall Gray instead of her, when it looked like she was aiming for Sol Ruka. So I feel like they didn't really leave like that window, like they left that window kind of open. So I feel like that's
Mhm.
definitely a possibility going forward as well.
Yeah, I can see Soul winning and Bailey just losing her freaking mind because she lost to an NXT um talent, and that just sends her off. That sends her a little bit more closer to the edge. So, okay,
Mm.
so we both got Soul winning that. AJ Styles and Dragon Lee against Javon Evans and Leon Slater.
AJ and Dragon Lee. Um,
I agree.
I am a big fan of Javon Evans. I think Javon Evans is the man. I think he's the face of the company they need to build around going forward. Everything Swerve Strickland said in his CVV interview a couple weeks ago was right. He will be better than Swerve Strickland when he hits 30.
Mhm.
He will be. I'm a big fan of him. I think he's athletic. I think he can cut promos. I believe he has the face of like that's a guy I want to be part of my future in the company. And I think
Mhm.
he's really talented at what he does. So I'm happy. I think he is. I think he's going forward. I think he's the man. But
I
I
agree.
feel as if it's not ready, not this time yet for him.
No, I agree. I think it's going to be AJ Styles and Dragon Lee winning this match because at first I wasn't sure if it was for the belts or not, but I don't think it is.
No,
So,
I don't think
so
so.
yeah, so I have those two winning. Cody and Obafemi, I have Cody winning, but I don't have a problem with what you said of it being a no contest or a disqualification or different things like that because if either one, actually, I think for everybody on that card Saturday night, I think win, lose, or draw, it really doesn't hurt anybody.
No, I don't think so either.
Yeah, I don't think it hurts for anybody.
I think it helps. I think it helps a lot of people to say the truth.
Hmm.
And I think it's the exposure of being it's the exposure of being on the main roster. It's the exposure of wrestling these guys, these top level guys. Oba versus Cody, Bailey versus Soruka, like that's like top level like matches there. Like it's not
Hmm.
like it's this guy and this guy. No. That's a former champion, and that is the guy of the company right now. You know, like even AJ Styles, one of the great top five wrestlers of all time. Don't care. That guy against Javon Evans and Leon Slater. I don't think combined they're as old as him.
Hmm.
Let that sink in. So these are big moments for these guys, and I'm excited because Cena really wanted to make the effort to have it be, you know, the future of the business, not necessarily just about me. So
Hmm.
these are big moments for these guys, but I think I know I said that no contest is probably the most likely outcome, but I would really love to see Obafemi really dominate Cody Rhodes too. I would really like to see that because sometimes the QB1 just don't got the game plan against somebody he's not familiar with.
I agree. That's very
And
true.
I think just like Javon Evans, I think Obafemi is that guy in this company. I really think he is going to be a superstar. He's got the look, he's got the talent, he's got a lot of things going for him, and I just think he has that stuff. His promos have been excellent, excellent stuff. Really high level promos, and he's the man. He has everything. I think that's the guy that could build around going forward. And I think if he came out and he dominated Cody Rhodes, that tells you everything they need to know. Everything they need to know about him going forward.
Hold on. So if he dominates him, whether he wins, lose, or a draw, if he dominates him in the match, that's a good sign.
Yes,
Okay, gotcha.
yes, yes,
Okay.
yes. I
Um.
I believe that. Yeah.
Okay. And of course, the last match, as everybody knows, John Cena against Gunther. Um, Gunther wins this match. I think we all know that. And then John Cena has a nice send off, a nice walk off, and he says what he gets to say. And ladies and gentlemen, that is it for John Cena's career.
My my heart tells me John Cena, but my brain knows it's Gunther, and I don't see John Cena playing the card of, yeah, I want to win my last match. I don't. Um, so I have a feeling it's going to end up being one of those matches where Cena does gives up, and I feel like his mantra comes to pass him as the guy that gave up. And as much as it sucks, I feel as if that's the thing, and that's what it's going to be for him going
Do you
forward.
think Gunther makes him tap?
Yes, I do. I think Gunther makes
Mm.
him tap. I think actually, you know what? I think he makes him pass out.
Mm.
I don't think he taps. I think he passes out because um if if he taps, and this is the problem with Gunther, is he tapped to Jey Uso. He tapped to Jey Uso. So
Right.
I know what they're trying. They're trying to make him like back to normal, where it's like, yeah, no, this is what we're doing. He's the big dominant guy, but man, I don't know. I feel like that's the only logical way. I feel like that's the only way they're really ever going to do it is basically discuss like he has to tap. Cena has to tap,
Hmm.
especially with he's doing the whole motion of him tapping. Almost knocked my phone out of my hand, but and like you will give up finally. I feel like that's the only way they're going to really go about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I keep seeing theories. I don't know if Fair mentioned this. Did he say anything about Joe Hendry?
As far as what?
Like coming out or doing anything or whatever?
No, I don't think
No.
so.
I wouldn't be surprised if Joe Hendry and him cross paths. Like I feel like there's going to be points in time in which like in that card or in that show, um, you'll see him backstage and he'll be like walking around in the back with people he really didn't get the chance to interact with. Like I feel like Joe
Hmm.
Hendry's one that he would do something with. I feel like, as much as I wish Samoa Joe was around because I think him and Samoa Joe would have something cool. Edge,
Hmm.
obviously, Edge is not there with the company anymore. So I think they're gonna dry every last bit of this retirement tour. People he hasn't had an interaction with in a long, long time with. So
Oh, and also too, real quick before we get out of here, the masked man showed up again on Monday Night Raw, and we
hmm
still don't know who it is.
nope,
We don't know.
no
So,
idea, not a
hey,
clue.
maybe he'll show up on Saturday night's main event. We don't know. Uh,
See, I think I mean, look, it's two different people. Last week was Montez Ford. The week before that was Austin Theory. They're trying to throw us off. So
we'll see.
we'll see.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to Wrestling with the Bros once again. Hey, make sure you follow us. And I didn't mention this at the top of the hour, but or the top of the show, but I'll mention it now. Hit that like, subscribe button on our YouTube channel, Wrestling with the Bros. Also follow us at WWTB 2024. And the reason why I didn't say it because usually Fair has it on his name thing, and he's not here. So
No,
Fair get
and
better.
this will not be the last time as now for this podcast. We will be back
Yep,
next week.
yep.
One last thing I want to say before we get out of here, real quick. Um, Thank you, John Cena. Thank you for being the guy that made wrestling fun for me as a child and well into my. Well, I'm 29 now, so well into my later than my childhood years and stuff, and always being the guy there on Monday nights and Friday nights and all that. So thank you so much for everything. This probably won't get to you, but if it ever does by somehow, some way, thank you so much. Thank you for the memories and
John Cena, thank you very much for everything that you have done for us as wrestling fans. 23 years, you have given us great memories, great matches. We have definitely enjoyed everything that you have done for this company to push it forward. Thank you for all of the colorful T-shirts that you wore over the years, along with the hats and the jorts. You are officially retiring the jorts, and thank you for helping me get back into wrestling through my kids. So thank you very much for all that you have done. Thank you for inspiring and doing all those make a wish. What's the word I'm looking for?
Make a wish, kids.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you for doing all of those things for those wonderful kids, and just thank you just for being who you are. Like James did, we salute you. Hey, you all take care. Have a good one, Smitty. You can't see us. Yo, what up? What up? What up? Welcome to the 12th episode. I remember this time. The 12th episode of Wrestling with the Bros.
Acknowledge us.